Mastering LocalStack, a comprehensive guide to efficient local cloud development and application testing. This podcast is brought to you by Business Compass LLC. We are an Amazon Web Services advanced consulting partner. We build and migrate workloads to Amazon Cloud. Our website is businesscompassllc.com. Our phone number is 973-638-2228. Our email address is contact@businesscompassllc.us. Embracing local cloud development, an in-depth guide to using LocalStack for efficient application testing and deployment. In today's fast-paced software development environment, developers are increasingly seeking ways to streamline their processes, especially when working with cloud services. The challenge lies in testing and deploying applications without incurring high costs or facing latency issues. Enter LocalStack, a local cloud emulator that allows you to develop and test your applications locally, simulating a variety of AWS services. This podcast will walk you through the importance of local cloud development, introduce you to LocalStack, and provide practical examples to help you get started. Introduction to LocalStack, revolutionizing local cloud development and testing. LocalStack is a powerful tool that brings the entire AWS cloud stack into your local environment. Emulating AWS services on your local machine allows developers to test and develop cloud applications without needing an AWS account. This revolutionizes how developers approach cloud development, enabling rapid iteration, cost savings, and increased flexibility. Understanding the need for local cloud development, cost-effectiveness, and flexibility. Cloud services like AWS offer unparalleled scalability and functionality but can be costly and sometimes overkill for local development and testing. Additionally, working directly on a cloud platform can introduce latency and require an internet connection. Local cloud development, enabled by tools like LocalStack, addresses these challenges by providing a cost-effective and flexible environment where developers can simulate cloud services locally. Introducing LocalStack, a local cloud emulator for seamless development and testing. LocalStack is an open-source project that provides a fully functional local AWS cloud stack. It supports a wide range of AWS services, including S3, Lambda, DynamoDB, and many more, allowing you to emulate the cloud environment locally. This makes it an excellent choice for testing cloud applications, ensuring your code behaves as expected before deployment to the live environment. Setting up LocalStack, from account creation to local installation. Getting started with LocalStack is straightforward. Install Docker. LocalStack runs as a Docker container, so you need Docker installed on your machine. You can download and install Docker from the official website. Install LocalStack. You can install LocalStack using pip install LocalStack. Alternatively, you can pull the LocalStack Docker image directly. Docker pull LocalStack/LocalStack. 3. Run LocalStack. Start the LocalStack container with the following command. LocalStack start. 4. Access the LocalStack UI. LocalStack provides a web-based UI for managing and interacting with emulated services. You can access it via http://localhost:8080. Leveraging LocalStack for local development. A practical example with AWS S3. One of the most common uses of LocalStack is to emulate AWS S3 for local development. Here's a practical example. Create an S3 bucket locally. AWS endpoint URL equals http://localhost:4566 s3mb s3:/ my bucket. Upload a file to the local S3 bucket. AWS endpoint URL equals http://localhost:4566 s3cp myfile.txt s3:/ my local bucket/. List files in the local S3 bucket. AWS endpoint URL equals http://localhost:4566 s3 lss 3:/ my local bucket/. These simple commands allow you to perform S3 operations locally without touching your AWS account. Implementing LocalStack in a full-stack application. A step-by-step tutorial. To see LocalStack in action within a full-stack application, let's walk through a basic setup. Backend setup. Suppose you have a Node.js backend that interacts with AWS services like S3 and DynamoDB. You can configure your AWS SDK to point to LocalStack endpoints. Front-end integration. Your React or Angular frontend can communicate with the backend, which now interacts with LocalStack services instead of AWS endpoints. Testing. Run your application locally, and you can perform complete end-to-end tests, ensuring that the integration between frontend, backend, and cloud services is functioning correctly. Demo time. Putting LocalStack to work in a real-world scenario. Consider a scenario where you need to develop and test a serverless application. By using LocalStack, you can develop Lambda functions locally, test your serverless logic without deploying to AWS, simulate event sources, use LocalStack to trigger Lambda functions via S3 events, SNS, or API gateway, validate infrastructure as code, test your CloudFormation or Terraform scripts by deploying them to LocalStack. This approach significantly reduces the feedback loop, allowing quicker iterations and more reliable deployment strategies. Conclusion. The benefits of LocalStack for local cloud development and testing. LocalStack is an indispensable tool for developers who want to harness the power of AWS services without incurring high costs or dealing with the complexities of a live cloud environment. It enables rapid prototyping, testing, and debugging, making it a critical component of any modern development workflow. By integrating LocalStack into your development process, you can achieve greater efficiency, cost savings, and confidence in your cloud-based applications. By following this podcast, you'll be well on your way to mastering LocalStack and enhancing your cloud development workflow. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please share this podcast, visit our website, and follow our social media links.